Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a fascinating and humorous exploration of human behavior. Get ready to explore the often overlooked, sometimes cringeworthy, but always fascinating world of stupidity. We'll be discussing the concept of stupidity and its implications, as outlined by Carlo M. Cipolla in his 5 Laws of Human Stupidity. It's about understanding a very real phenomenon that impacts all of us. So, let's get started. Cipolla's first law hits us with a stark truth. We consistently underestimate the sheer number of stupid individuals among us. It's like they're hidden in plain sight, camouflaged against the backdrop of everyday life. We tend to assume that most people operate with a certain level of logic and reason. But Cipolla argues that this assumption is fundamentally flawed. Think about it. We've all encountered those individuals who seem to make one irrational decision after another, leaving a trail of chaos and confusion in their wake. Cipolla suggests that these individuals aren't just outliers, they're part of a vast and underestimated majority. Instead, he argues that it's evenly distributed across all walks of life. From the halls of government to the aisles of your local grocery store, stupidity knows no boundaries. You can be a brilliant scientist with multiple PhDs and still make decisions that would make a 5-year-old shake their head in disbelief. This widespread nature of stupidity is what makes it so dangerous. Because it's not confined to a specific group or demographic, we're constantly at risk of encountering it in our daily lives. It's like playing a game of Russian roulette with our decision-making, never knowing when we're going to come face to face with an act of pure, unadulterated stupidity. By accepting that stupidity is more common than we'd like to believe, we can start to anticipate it, prepare for it, and hopefully mitigate its impact on our lives. So the next time you find yourself shaking your head in disbelief at someone's actions, remember Cipolla's first law. It's not that you're surrounded by idiots, it's just that the world is full of surprises, and sometimes those surprises come in the form of mind-bogglingly stupid decisions. Cipolla's second law throws a wrench into our preconceived notions about stupidity. We often associate stupidity with a lack of intelligence, education, or social graces. However, Cipolla argues that stupidity is a great equalizer, an equal opportunity virus that can infect anyone. It's like the common cold of human behavior, capable of spreading through any population. You can have an IQ that would make Einstein jealous, but that doesn't make you immune to stupidity. This law challenges us to confront our own biases and assumptions about intelligence and stupidity. We often fall into the trap of believing that certain groups are more susceptible to stupidity. However, Cipolla's second law reminds us that stupidity is a universal human trait. It's not limited to any particular group or demographic. Some of the most intelligent individuals in history have made bafflingly stupid decisions. So, what does this mean for us? It means we need to be vigilant against our own potential for stupidity. When we become overconfident, we open ourselves up to making stupid mistakes. Cipolla's second law is a reminder that we're all human and capable of making stupid decisions. Chapter 3. This is where Cipolla's laws start to feel a little too real, a little too close to home. Law 3 delves into the heart of what makes stupidity so perplexing and frustrating, its capacity for self-sabotage. A stupid person, according to Cipolla, possesses an almost uncanny ability to inflict damage upon others without deriving any benefit for themselves. Imagine, if you will, a scenario where someone decides to cut off their nose to spite their face. That's essentially what Cipolla is describing here. Inherently irrational and counterproductive. They defy logic, reason, and often even basic self-interest. It's like watching someone play a game where the only way to win is to lose. They make moves that actively hinder their own progress, all the while negatively impacting those around them. It's a lose-lose situation, and yet it's a scenario that plays out with alarming frequency in the real world. Think about the coworker who sabotages a team project out of spite, or the friend who spreads rumors that ultimately backfire and damage their own reputation. These are prime examples of Cipolla's third law in action. The individuals involved gain nothing from their actions except perhaps a fleeting sense of satisfaction or revenge, but the consequences of their stupidity can be far-reaching and long-lasting. Relationships are damaged, careers are derailed, and opportunities are lost, all because someone decided to act in a way that was not only irrational, but also deeply self-destructive. Because when someone is capable of inflicting harm on themselves and others without any hope of personal gain, it becomes incredibly difficult to predict, understand, or even mitigate their actions. Chapter 4. This law, my friends, is where the real danger zone lies. Cipolla's fourth law highlights a critical vulnerability in even the most intelligent and rational among us, our tendency to underestimate the sheer destructive power of stupid individuals. We, as a species, are hardwired to seek patterns, to find logic and reason in the chaos of the world around us. So, when confronted with stupidity, our first instinct is to try and rationalize it, to fit it into our existing framework of understanding. We tell ourselves that there must be a method to the madness, a hidden agenda that we're just not privy to. But here's the thing, stupidity doesn't play by our rules. It doesn't care about logic, reason, or consequences. It's a wild card, a chaotic force that can upend even the most well-laid plans, and because we so often underestimate its power, we leave ourselves vulnerable to its devastating effects. Think about it. How many times have you seen a seemingly intelligent, capable person make a decision that leaves you scratching your head in disbelief? You think to yourself, how could they be so stupid? But that's just it. We assume that intelligence serves as a buffer against stupidity, that rational people are somehow immune to making irrational decisions. But Cipolla argues that this assumption is a dangerous fallacy. Intelligence and stupidity are not mutually exclusive. In fact, they often coexist within the same individual, creating a volatile cocktail of potential disaster. Chapter 5. And now, we arrive at the crux of Cipolla's theory, the chilling conclusion that underpins his entire treatise on human stupidity. Law 5 states that a stupid person is the most dangerous type of person, even more dangerous than the bandit, the criminal, the outright villain. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hold on a minute, John. Are you seriously suggesting that someone who forgets to put the milk away is more dangerous than a hardened criminal? And on the surface, it does seem like a bit of a stretch. But bear with me here because Cipolla's reasoning is both insightful and deeply unsettling. You see, the bandit, the criminal, they operate within a predictable framework. They're motivated by self-interest, by a desire for personal gain, whether it's money, power, or revenge. Their actions, however reprehensible, follow a certain logic, a twisted internal compass that guides their behavior. This predictability, in a sense, makes them manageable. We can anticipate their moves, protect ourselves against their schemes, and even bring them to justice within the framework of the law. The stupid person, however, operates outside these boundaries. Their actions are not bound by logic, reason, or even a desire for self-preservation. They are agents of chaos, driven by an internal force that defies rational explanation. And this is what makes them so incredibly dangerous. Unlike the bandit who targets their victims with a specific goal in mind, the stupid person is an equal opportunity menace. Their actions are indiscriminate, affecting everyone around them, including, and often especially, themselves. They are like a walking, talking, natural disaster, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake, oblivious to the damage they inflict. And there you have it, Cipolla's 5 laws of human stupidity. It's a lot to process, I know. But hopefully, you've come away from this video with a newfound appreciation for the pervasive and often underestimated force that is stupidity. Understanding these laws can help us recognize and mitigate the impact of irrational behavior in our lives. It's about approaching the world with a healthy dose of skepticism, recognizing that not everyone is playing with a full deck and adjusting our expectations accordingly. Remember, it's important to approach this topic with humor and self-awareness, as everyone is capable of acting stupidly at times. The key is to learn from our mistakes, try to make better decisions in the future, and not take ourselves too seriously. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more insightful content.